What are you doing? Enjoying a bath with some milk? Why? It makes me feel fancy. You don't got time to be fancy. We got a leaking faucet to fix. This is what we're trying to fix here today. This is turned as tightly off as it will go, but we still have a leak coming through. So we're going to disassemble this, well, the whole thing here. There's a big valve inside there with a little rubber washer, and that washer is probably destroyed. So we're going to try to pull this apart, replace that washer, and hopefully it all goes back together nice and smooth. So the first thing we need to do here is start taking this apart. I've just got a regular Phillips head screwdriver because there's a Phillips head screw here. We're going to unthread that out here. And hopefully this slides off. And it does not want to. Let's see if we can convince it. Well, we're moving this whole thing in and out here, so let's go ahead and handle turning the water off. For this house, we're lucky enough to have a closet right beside it here that has a valve in it. What you're seeing here is the back of the bathtub. There's a panel that goes across here and hides all this stuff. We've just removed this panel. Now our valves are exposed. So you got your hot water and cold water. If you're not sure which one's leaking, you can turn off one or the other and see if it keeps leaking. Now, a couple months ago, back after I had bought the house, I tried to turn this one off and didn't make very much progress with it. So we're going to try again today, and there's a good chance I'll have to replace this valve. So I know where my house water shutoff is at, the big one for the whole house. So if this starts leaking, I can run down there and turn it off. And I'll show you guys that later. For now, let's try to turn it. Oh, it's pretty well seized up. I'm gonna attempt to just gently convince it to move using this little pipe wrench. If we can get it opened up here big enough for it. Just a little twist, that's all it needed. It is definitely crunchy and gross sounding. We've got that turned off pretty tight, which means our leak out there should be done. All right, so we just turned that. There's a little bit of residue coming out. That'll probably stay going for a little bit. Now we can work on taking the rest of that valve apart. This is still stuck on here. Sometimes you have to get creative for how to knock these off. And this one is definitely on there pretty good. Sometimes you can just work them loose by going back and forth and tapping on them. There we go. There's just little teeth on here inside there. You can see those. These little teeth just get kind of gummed up, and that holds it on there and makes it a pain in the butt to get it off. But there we go. That one's off. Now, there is a little screw hole down here that we need to remove that so we can take this sleeve off. We're still leaking there, so tighten that up a little bit. I might need to adjust that valve in the back again and see if I can't get it closed just a little bit better. It shouldn't be leaking that much, you know, several minutes after we've turned it off. Okay, I believe that's a flathead back there. Loosen that up a little bit. And this piece slides off. Oh, maybe. I got stuck on some soap scum. That little screw there just adjusts in and out of here, and that's what pinches it. When it's threaded up in, that little bit pinches it on there. This piece just unthreads. And if it's too tight, you can use your little pipe wrench. You're just going to want to be careful with doing that because it will leave marks. That's been leaking a bit. We're definitely wet inside here. So it's bypassing somehow. Well, it's got crud all over it. I'm going to attempt to close that valve off back there a little bit better, and I'll bring you back. We gave our valve back there another little, just a little extra with that pipe wrench. It didn't take a whole lot. It was just more than I could do with my hand there. And it's pretty well sealed off now. At this point, we've got this hexagon shape here. We can take a crescent wrench or adjustable wrench. I mean, you can go find the correct size if you really want to, but this is just easier. Then you'll have to break this loose. And there's your valve. Now at this point, you can take this into, I would probably recommend Ace Hardware. They're a smaller store, so it's easier to navigate. And they have a really good selection of valves. But Home Depot and Lowe's both should have them. You might find some in some of the other stores too. So here is that rubber washer that I said was probably destroyed. And as you can see, it's no longer round. Half of it has wore away. It doesn't seem like much, but that's enough that it's leaking past it. And that also affects, when you're turning them on in the shower, getting even heat. Because this shower likes to go from really cold to really hot. And you're not touching either of the valves. And then you're crying. Here's our new one. You can see it's got a nice full washer on there. In the little box or plastic case thing, it came with one of these. That's just going to fit there. So when we thread this in, that seals up nice and tight. Now it also has these, which this goes way back in there. And if you can get the old one out, then you could go ahead and put in one of these. I tried over on the hot water side quite a bit and I couldn't get one removed. So I'm not even going to try on this side. It doesn't seem to make much of a difference. Now that we're at this point, I'm going to take a quick look inside here. Well, that's the wrong type of flashlight for that. But that looks okay. There's nothing gumming it up real bad. No crazy jagged stalactites or anything in there. So I'm just going to go right on ahead and put our new one in. Make sure that stays on there. That's kind of wobbly. It's installed. Take our wrench again. Give it a little snug. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I don't like to go crazy tight with stuff. As a kid, I used to have a bad tendency of doing that. And when you crank down on stuff too much, it breaks things like that little gasket, makes it impossible to take it back apart. So just keep that in mind when you're doing yours. We'll just stick this back in here though. We're going to go just nice and easy until you find the thread for it. Don't need to cross thread these on there. Now I got it stuck. Here, you can see I've got the soap scum aimed straight up, which I don't like that. So we're going to back that off. Just that little bit so the shiny bit's showing. This is still pretty tight, so it shouldn't be an issue. Now we can take our piece here. Need to unscrew that one more twist. There we go. Make that slide on nice and easy. Try to push that up tight into the wall. Might need to find your screw before you push it up tight to the wall. So there, now we can twist it up in there. There it is. That's done. Now some people will caulk that around there with some silicone. I'm not going to do that because these haven't been done the whole time I've been in the house. It doesn't seem to be causing any problems. Now we're ready for our other piece there to go back on. This guy here, there's not really a direction for it. We're just going to find where the teeth slide. I'm going to work that back and forth a couple of times. Try to clean them teeth out. Just using a paper towel here to clean the teeth back out. That idea there worked pretty good. Got quite a bit of gunk out of it. Should just make it easier if we got to take it back apart again. All right, this is ready to go in. There we go. Put your little screw back. Feels like it's working good. So we've got it turned off. Let's turn our water on and see what happens. That water is on and it's not leaking. Oh, that's had some nasty looking stuff come out of it there. I think that's from our valve inside the closet there. It sounded a little crunchy. If yours is like that too, I'm going to double check that for a leak here. Make sure it didn't come loose somewhere in there. This home has a basement, so we're down in it right now. This is our drain pipe here for the tub, which is going to be your landmark to find. And we've got our lines there. You can see those running up through the floor. And if we move around here a little bit over there, you can see the other one going up through. Kinda. So the reason I'm pointing that out is some homes have the valves located down here for your shower shut-offs. And if it's not there, and you have to do your whole home shut-off, your whole home shut-off is going to be coming through the wall of a basement that faces towards the street. So it should be whichever side of your house is closest to the street if you're on city water. Now it's coming through this line that's all clamped up here, and this valve here shuts it on and off. If you're not on city water and you have your own well, then you're going to want to go to the side of the house that has the well. I can't help you on that because that's different for every house that has one. If you have a slab foundation, one of your best bets to go find your water shut off is going to be over by your hot water tank. Well, now that we've got our leaky faucet fixed, we can go ahead and start cleaning up here, get our tools put away, and I guess that's going to be it for me today. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. If you're curious what I'm sitting on throughout the video, it was just a milk crate. If you can find one of them, that makes a nice stool here to work off of.